Hi everyone, so welcome back to another episode of Release. So just take a moment to soak in the scenery. I'm absolutely buzzing to share this class with you today. So we're going to do shoulders today, that's going to be our theme. So we've covered our heart opening, which is always something that I start with. Any yogis that do yoga with me regularly, you know that even when we're doing yin, I love to make sure that we're focusing on an open heart. Because all of those feeling things that come up through yoga, so yoga is all about feeling, we want to feel them in an open heart. So that was first and foremost. And then we've moved on to our hips, and we're going to go on to shoulders today. So it's going to be a little bit of a shorter practice today, just doing some shoulder opening. And then the next time we'll move on to our legs and doing some things with the hamstrings. So our session today is going to require a few props. Now I know that some of you practicing at home won't have these props, and that's fine. I'm wanting us to find ways to introduce yoga in any way possible, anywhere possible. As you can see, I'm not at home, but I do have my trusty props with me. So I'm going to come down onto the mat and just show you. So I'm using these blocks, but you could use books. So an alternative for this would be books, and I'm also going to show you how to do some shoulder openers with a chair, which obviously pretty much anywhere we go, we're going to have chairs. This is also a strap, so this is a hemp strap. And this can be, if you haven't got a strap, you haven't got a yoga strap, you could be using like the tie off a dressing gown or a belt. Anything really, it just doesn't want to be too stretchy, because we're going to be opening our shoulders with that. So if you want any props and you are looking to invest and do more yoga, then props are a must in my opinion, and you can just drop me a message. I have a wonderful supplier who gets loads of eco props, so the cork blocks and hemp straps. Just being mindful. So as yogis, we all know yoga is a lifestyle. It's not just the asana that we're going to practice today, or the meditation or the pranayama. It's a way of life. So it's all encompassing. It's a way to, in effect, become enlightened. That's kind of where it came from, to transcend, to realize our true nature, not just as this physical body, but as a soul, part of a bigger soul, a consciousness. But all of those things come together, and they mean that we think about everything, our effect on the world, the way we're treading on this planet. So how do we come into contact with other people? How do we come into contact with the environment? What are we purchasing? What are we consuming? What are we doing with our food choices? So as you know, I'm vegan. I choose a plant-based lifestyle for this reason. Having the lightest, most caring and loving touch on the earth is really, really essential in everyday life. So let's get going. I'm probably going to be stripping on and off as we go, because it's kind of warm and kind of cold. If any of you live in the UK, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're in March, and on a sunny day, you can be in the sun and 1 minute you feel warm, and then the wind blows and it's actually like -1. So it's really, really changeable, and I'm just loving it this morning. So as much sun on my skin as possible. So wherever you are, whether you're out in the sun, if you are practicing this outside, then I voice prompt enough for you to not be able to see the screen very well. So I encourage you to practice wherever you can. I'm always trying to lead you with my voice as much as possible, and you can come to my practice and look how I'm doing. But always do remember that what I'm doing with my body is not necessarily exactly what you should do with your body. We're all so different in our bodies. So if I'm making a shape and I'm leading you towards a pose with my voice and with my prompts, I'll try and show you how to get into the benefit of the pose. So for example, if we're doing splits, you're not doing the splits, but you're getting the hamstring stretch, perfect. So just getting comfortable. We call this easy pose, and for most people this isn't easy. So sitting with cross legs or whatever you can do. Now if you're really uncomfortable in cross legs, sit on something. That's my absolute number one tip. Sit on something that raises your bum up, so that you raise your hips and your bum higher than your knees. You can see mine aren't, but I'm quite comfortable here. But if you're not, if you're feeling like you're leaning into your lower back, please lift your hips up. It's really, really not great for our back to be sitting like this. Our lower spine, our lumbar spine in particular, is not supposed to be rounded. You know, we've got movement, but we're not supposed to sit into a curve, into a rounding position. So just closing your eyes down. And just starting to take your attention inward. So I hope you can hear the waves in the background, just enjoying the lulling, the ebb and flow of the waves. I've written a poem this morning with this in mind, about the ebb and the flow of life and how we can learn to flow with this in the same way that a surfer or a swimmer will bob along with the waves, not trying to avoid them, not trying to take the crash and stand steady, just flowing with them. I want us to try think about that with life. This is a big learning for me at the moment, just to flow. Whenever I've been in flow in my life, it's been the most magical times. So learning to let go of the reins a little bit and just flow. What is presented to you when you let go of control of everything and you just flow. So just practicing that now. We can practice that here on our mat, and that helps us flow that out into our everyday lives. So just breathing with what is, what's there inside today, in this moment. If you want to receive some wisdom from the world, place your palms up. If you feel like you're more inward today, you can place your palms down over your knees. I like to use that as a little prompt for myself to ask how I feel inward. How do I feel inside? Let your belly soften, just breathing a little bit deeper and deeper, but not forcing the breath, just guiding. Just be however you are in this moment. I'm not asking you to think to be a certain way. Yes, we might flow through poses in our practice today, but we want to keep this element of flowing, of listening to your body. If you feel like something doesn't work for you, then just don't do it. Two more long, deep breaths, and we're going to start getting warmed up on the shoulders. Great, so just gently opening your eyes, make your way onto all fours. So we're going to start in our table pose. We're going to take a little flow, and I want this to be really intuitive for you. So as I'm going, just follow what I'm doing, but if something feels better to go deeper or not so deep, then just do that. We're going to flow from downward dog to a rounded high plank, and then down to the mat for cobra. Now this really starts to find mobility in the spine. It's a little bit like an extended cat-cow. So for me, cat-cow doesn't really resonate. As I said, some things do, some things don't for each of us. It feels a little bit too fixed. I want my pelvis to move more. So if you don't like this flow, then just come to your cat-cow and move with your breath that way. So find yourself in all fours or on all fours, wrists under the shoulders. And we're just going to start by moving backwards and forwards to start with. Just starting to move, starting to find the openness in the wrists. And just drop all the way down into a wide-kneed child's pose. So this is going to be one of our poses in our flow. So just take a moment here, notice how your hips feel this morning. Whether you're practicing this in the morning or the evening, just notice how you feel. Good, and then we're going to roll up. We're going to tuck the toes and lift into downward dog. So a modified downward dog for the first one. So allow the hips to be high, the knees can be bent. Remember, we're not warm at all. Relax the head, press through the hands, and lift the hips. So really long spine. Good, so we're going to inhale, we're going to round into a high plank. So rounded shoulders, press into your shoulders. Good, exhale down, bring the hips down, allow the heart to shine open. And then breathing out again, all the way down to the mat. As you inhale, lift the back of the heart. Exhale here as we lift the hips through our high plank and round back to a downward dog. Dropping the knees, allow your back and heart to sink to the ground for a child pose. So I like to bring my heart, my chest and my chin down now. You can see I've got wild hair today, so if you can't see the pose very well, just maybe listen to the prompts. Inhale, lift to downward dog. Breathe it out here. Rolling with an inhale to high plank. Exhaling down, let the hips come down. Shine the heart open. Exhale down. Go with your own breath. Inhale, lift the back of the heart. Exhale, come into high plank, roll it into a downward dog. So you feel that roll through the shoulders and then dropping the knees, heart comes down. 2 more. Inhaling up, downward dog, exhale. Inhale, high plank, dropping the hips as you exhale, nice and slow. Open the heart, exhale down. Inhale, lift the back of the heart. Oh, round into a high plank. Roll that spine back, downward dog. And then drop the knees. Last one now. Come all the way down to child pose. Inhale, coming up. Through down dog. Rolling through into high plank. Make it really roll. It's all about the roll. All about opening the shoulders. Hips come down. Exhale all the way down. Belly comes down. Inhale, lift the heart. Let the back of the heart lead into high plank. Roll it back, downward dog. Good, beautiful. And for the last time, knees down, nice and wide, child pose. And just take a moment here. As you inhale, come all the way back up. Just soak it in. So we're going to move back to our table pose now and take an assisted puppy pose, and then we'll flow. So I really want us to get some flow into the shoulders as part of the release today. So just finding your table pose. Now I'm going to bring my blocks in here, so options to bring blocks or books or something just to put your forearms on. So in puppy pose we bring the hands away from the hips and the hips stay above the knees. This is really important. So you bring the forehead down, and the option today is to take your forearms onto blocks, onto something that lifts them up. This just gives you a little bit more opening in the shoulders. You'll probably feel that as you come down. If that's too much for you, just don't use the props. It's not a problem. Maybe you bring your chest and chin down. Just breathing here. Maybe you're feeling this in the sides of your shoulders. One more long breath. And slowly bring your way back up. So that might feel pretty strong. Let's just move the blocks out the way and take a twist. So in our twist here, we're going to open the thoracic spine. So slide your right hand under your left. bring your right shoulder down. So you can feel that here the right shoulder stays in one position, and we're lifting the left arm round to really open the heart space. So if the left arm up doesn't feel great, just keep it here, down by the face. But opening here can feel really nice. Open to the sky. Soak in that sky. Good, let's come up and do the other side. So I can really feel that already in my thoracic spine, in my shoulders, between my shoulders. Twists are amazing for keeping a healthy spine. And we really want an open thoracic spine. So as I've found that if my thoracic spine isn't open, my shoulders and upper back doesn't move, then it ends up giving problems or causing problems in the lumbar spine. So the lumbar spine takes the hit, and the neck as well. Good, inhale, come back up. So let's keep a really, really nice, we want to keep real nice movement there. Some big waves coming in. Oh, right, so before we move, I'm going to show you one more pose, one more stretch that you could do at home, which I love. So I'm going to just bring in a chair for this before we flow and use all this open movement. So, not your everyday yoga prop, but something that you can find at home easily. So, this is a beautiful pose that I find really, really opens my shoulders. So I'm going to talk about the yoga wheel in a minute. That's another thing to do. But basically you come to any surface where you can softly lean your elbows. You don't really want this to be something sharp. So like the sharp edge of a table might be a bit too hard. But I use a chair or the edge of a normal table. So you're going to take your elbows on and clasp your fingers together. So I'm taking the hands down the back of my head and allow your head to drop through. This is pretty strong on the shoulders, so your head might not come through. But we're basically then just allowing that to come through. If we can, we try and shuffle the knees back to keep a strong core. Can you see then I'm coming through less because now my lumbar spine is not arching, it's not taking the bend. So for me, this is a real, real stretch all down the sides of each side of my body. Opening, allowing my ribs and my upper back to move through my arms. If you do wheel, if you want to do wheel, if you want open shoulders, this is an amazing exercise to do. So we're going to do something similar like this at the end with a strap over a block. Good, and then just come up. So release your hands, roll your shoulders back. So it's pretty intense down the sides, yeah, your lats, your... I find that this is where I'm really tight in this. So if you're tight in across the upper back, you'll probably feel that as well. So let me just get rid of the chair. Hope that helps you, give you some things that you can do to open the shoulders. Open shoulders are vital, really, really vital, not just in yoga. So last sitting pose before we flow a little bit is a really nice open stretch. So this opens your heart as well. This is often done as a chest opener, but I love this for shoulders. So grabbing the strap, I hold it between my thumb and index finger first, and then hold on to the strap. But you want it to be wider than your shoulders and arms strong. As you bring it up, you can see that I can't go any further there. So I'm going to slide my hands along the strap to take it to the strongest part. And you want to keep your head up. What can happen here is you want to lean forward. Keep your chin tucked in, nice and long through the crown, also core engaged. So again, it can be really easy to feel like the shoulders are open if we're very mobile and we allow our back to arch. See so many people doing intense shoulder openers, but their back is very bent. So it's actually their back is taking a lot of the openness, not the shoulders. Not that we don't want an open back, but we don't want to strain our lower back by trying to move stiff shoulders. So let's bring that directly behind us now. I can really feel this in my chest and the front of my shoulders. I'm going to be training chest today, so really nice to have them nice and open. And you bring shoulders into any chest workout. So for those of you doing workouts, remember yoga is for everyone, including weightlifters, bodybuilders, athletes, especially for those people. Good, and then what I've done is dropped it down and then rolled it the other way. So I'm finding the points of most resistance, not something we often look into. Yeah, we might try and shy away from that, but I want the magic here. Just relax, nice long breaths, keeping the core nice and active. So I'm not arching here. I'm just going to show you from the side. You can see my lower body is nice and active, engaged. I'm not arching. See, if I arch, I can open much more. If I keep an engagement, I realize where my shoulders really are. Good. And then just bring it back over the head and release. So we've really worked on our mobility there. That should feel really, really nice. So we're going to do a little bit of a flow. I keep forgetting that I've got the microphone on. We're going to do a little bit of flow now and practice opening the shoulders this way in our upper back bend. And yeah, then we'll see how we feel. So come back to your downward dog. We're not going to flow through a vinyasa. We're going to go straight from here. So lifting the hips. This is also a shoulder opener. We're going to use this a little bit by bending the knees to start. Bring the head down. Relax the head. Good. And let's just step the right foot forward. Come into a lunge on this side to start with. So heart space shining forward. And bring your arms down. I want you to engage your core. So wherever you are in this position, whatever your shape looks like, don't worry about the shape. Engage your core. You should be feeling the stretch here through the hip flexor. And we're going to keep the arms nice and low to start with. Start opening where you need it in the shoulders. So bring the arms back and up and reach them up. Good, lovely, chin tucked in. And we're going to do a little sunset, sun rising practice here, which is kind of like a tantra practice. So anybody that knows me knows that I'm practicing tantra. Tantra is the birthplace of hatha yoga, which I teach. So yeah, it's very, very important to come back to our roots. And I really realize why that's come from that. So we want to really feel this. Okay, we're going to do this little flow to finish. And I really want you to feel it. So not worrying about exactly what you're doing. We're going to start with our arms up. And we're just going to opening the shoulders, opening the arms, taking in the bright sun here. Good. As we exhale, we're bringing the hands back up. And we're going to bring them to touch the earth as though the sun is setting down on the earth, placing the hands down. As you inhale, the sun rises and we feel that energy coming up, and then exhale, allow the arms to fall out. Allow the shoulders to open. The sun just shines onto you. Good. Inhale, back up. And exhale, the sun sets here, all the way down. Inhaling, coming back up, breathing it in, noticing where your energy is flowing as you're doing this. Exhale, allow that sunshine to pour over you. One more time. Exhale, all the way down. The sun sets, and we're going to leave the sun there. So we're going to step this right knee back and bring the left foot forwards. So as you inhale, just bring yourself up, level your hips to start with. Remember, core engaged, so we're slightly tucking the belly button here so we have a nice neutral pelvis. As you inhale, bring the arms up and just let the arms come out. Let that sunshine, let that light flow onto you. Feeling what's going on here. Inhale, arms join as if you're holding the sun. And as you exhale, we're allowing that sun, we're helping the sun set. Bring the sun down to the mat. Inhale, holding the sun still, bringing it up. Feel what's there. As you exhale, allow the arms to open, allow the shoulders to open, mobility in the shoulders. Inhale, all the way back up. Exhale, setting sun, coming down. Inhale, reaching back up. Exhale, opening. One more time, inhale up and exhale. Allow the sun to meet the earth, to meet the sea, and then take that left knee back. Just sit the hips back and notice how your shoulders feel now. Notice how you feel. So we're going to come up one more time. We're going to take a side bend. So bring the right foot forward. Come into this low lunge position. And we're going to use our side bend here. So we're going to bring the left hand up and the right hand will reach to the left thigh, the back of the left thigh. Now if it doesn't, just let the hand hang, or you can just keep your hands on your knee. There's no need to be twisting here, but it might just feel good to twist, open the shoulders, and then let's switch to the other side. And then bring both the hands down. Let's switch knees. Finding your core, right hand up, left hand down. The left hand reaches the back of the right thigh. Can you hold your core here? Good, then switching the other way. Bring the hands down. And again, just find your child pose. Let's do one more shoulder opening. We're just going to clasp the hands behind the back, bring the heart down to the mat with the arms up. So we can do this in a forward fold, which we'll do in a second, but I just want you to get the feel for this first. So you bring your chest down, you allow your arms to come up. This really, really opens the back. So they might not come up very far. You can see that my palms aren't touching. My shoulders are pretty closed in some ways. So just relax the hands. So for our last pose, we're going to come up to wide leg forward fold. So legs nice and wide, hands to hips, folding over. Good. Now just find your position where you're comfortable here, because we're not going to have the hands leaning. You might be leaning on something here. You might not have your hands down. But we want to clasp the hands behind the back and allow the shoulders to open. So you really need to kind of lift your hands away from you to give your shoulders some freedom here, and let your hands come down. So I'm getting a beautiful view this way, that bright blue sky. Just taking it in, allow the shoulders to be opening as much as they need to. It's working the hamstrings as well, so take it easy. If this isn't in your practice, if this doesn't feel good, then just start on knees and do what we did before, kneeling and allowing the arms to clasp behind the back and seeing where they go to. So you can see over some time, the shoulders start to feel like they're opening. We're kind of stretching open the bottom of the shoulders here. Good, release the hands, just do that slowly. Hands maybe back down to the mat or to the hips, and heel toe in. Good, just roll the shoulders back. Take a nice mountain pose, and we're going to bring it all the way down. So feet are about hip width or a little bit wider, coming all the way down through your garland pose down to the mat. So I've got a little ant joining me here. I don't want to squash him. So we're just going to encourage him to move out the way. There you go. So, coming back into your start pose, your easy pose, rolling the shoulders back. You should feel like they've really stretched now. Just shake off the hands. So for me, my shoulders really start to affect my arms when they're stiff, and I've been getting a lot of upper back kind of tension recently. I know a lot of other people have, especially if you're feeling lots in your heart, you're going through things, whether it be anxiety or stress or grief, then we want to keep open shoulders. We want all of this space to be open. So hopefully that's helped you release today. And remember to just honour whatever happens in the practice. So bringing the hands to heart centre. Just take a moment here. Just notice how your shoulders feel. And we're going to lie over a block or a book for our Shavasana. You can also use a rolled up towel. So I'm going to take a block. You could use a rolled up towel, roll it into a cylinder and lie it across your upper shoulders. So you want your upper shoulders over the block. And then take the arms into a Y shape. Relax the head and allow the shoulders to be open here. Soaking in all that beautiful light. I'm sending you some sunny love from here. Just allowing your body to totally stop now, to do whatever it needs to do, adjust, relax, and let go. No effort is needed. Shavasana is that beautiful point that in our lives we need that Shavasana too. So it's like the magic at the end of all the effort. You do the effort, you visualize your dreams, you set things in motion, and we must have some of this time where we do nothing. We just let go and we just experience that magic. So just experiencing how wonderful your body feels now. You come onto the mat, practice yoga, listen to your body, be present. Now you have that magic just washing over you, that presence, that unity of body, mind and soul that's always there. And somehow we just forget. We've come into our mind only. I think this is the first time this year that I've seen the sky so blue and been able to lie in it being warm enough without socks on, without gloves on. It's amazing. So even if you're not looking up at a bright blue sky, maybe you just close your eyes and imagine that. Imagine your favorite place. And just bringing a little bit of movement back into your body. I like to just take a full body stretch over the block. Roll yourself onto one side. Take a fetus pose for a few breaths. And when you're ready, just softly bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Hands to heart center. We've got a drone joining us in the background. Good, hands to heart center. Just closing your eyes. Just allowing yourself to be washed in this, the beauty of your practice, of how you feel now. Hopefully feeling more at ease and ready to flow and release things in your life that you don't need and flow into what's calling you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed that. So this is the third of a series release, as you know, so do subscribe along and you'll get notified when the new videos are uploaded. I also offer conscious chats on here, meditations, and lots of lovely offerings to you guys on YouTube. So do follow along my channel. I think that's a seagull agreeing for you to subscribe along there. Please do also like and comment. I love to hear what you think about the video, what you want more of. Do just let me know. So from me here in the beautiful sun by the beautiful sea, I'm going to take a swim. Yeah, a cold swim, but a swim nonetheless. So I hope you all have a great day. Take it easy.